Well, I just shot a match out here yesterday. This is Walker County Bench Rest Range, and it's owned by a really good friend of mine, Larry Deese, and his wife, Beth. Yesterday was their 22 long rifle club finale. I've been promising this for a long time. I've wanted to come out and shoot some of these stages, and I thought, hey, the day after the match or 2 days after the match, when everything's still set up and I still have the course of fire fresh in my mind and all my dope cards set up, why not do that? So I'm not going to shoot a bunch of stages in this video. We're going to start kind of a series. So I'll call it PRS Walker County series, and we'll go through some of these stages because Larry does set up a very challenging but fair match. And I'm going to talk about how this match went Saturday and what was interesting to see as I go through some of these stages. So if you're ready to go, let's get started. Well, this was the first stage in the Walker County Bench Rest finale on Saturday. And Larry just built this stage, and it's a doozy. So as you can see, there are a lot of options here. So let me just point out some of them. Number one, I've shot this stage off of the stairs. Now, he made the stairs purposefully high or high apart from each other so you can actually get your rifle in there. So sometimes we'll shoot off these stairs. Other times we'll shoot from, you can see some coloring on these boards here. Sometimes we'll shoot from within the framework, if you will, of the obstacle itself. Other times we might shoot off this rooftop, and other times, like we did Saturday, we'll shoot from up here through the cargo netting. Now, an interesting thing about up there is, as you can see, it ain't stable. So when you're on this thing, you're all over the place. So let's talk about how or what the stage brief said about shooting this stage, and then we'll walk through some options and then we'll shoot it. Well, I've got the kitchen sink up here. So there's so many different ways you could shoot this. Here's the course of fire. Course of fire was, there are 4 targets out there. We are shooting near to far. 103 yards, 117, 180, and 221. They kind of go back and forth here. You must shoot through 4 ports in the cargo net. Doesn't matter what 4. So just because there's tape on something doesn't mean you have to shoot through that window. In some matches you do. In some matches he'll say shoot through 5 out of the 6 taped windows, or 4 out of the 6 taped, and you can choose. In this match, he did not say that. He said any 4 ports. Also what he said, which is very important, you have to read the stage brief. What he said was, the muzzle of the rifle must be through the netting. In other words, it must go through the netting. He did not say the rifle must rest on the netting, okay? Very big distinction there. In some matches, they will say the rifle must rest on the netting. It must be touching it. They did not say that in this one. So let's quickly go through a few ways that I saw this shot, and one of the ways that I'm going to try today, because I didn't shoot it this way, and I will tell you, I got a 3 on this stage. This stage sunk my match. If I could have, here we go with if I could have. If I could have gotten an 8 out of 10 on this, actually this was a 12-shot stage. So 3 shots at each target. If I could have got an 8 out of 12, I would have been, I think, 3rd place in the match, 3rd or 4th place. So that's how something like this stage can really screw you up. So let's talk about the different options that we have to shoot this thing. I'm not going to use the trigger cam just yet. I just want to talk to you about how this could work. how I shot it, and I had practiced this the weekend before actually up on this thing, so I thought I was pretty confident in my ability. But as you can see, look, I didn't show you this before, this thing's all over the place, right? So yeah, a lot to think about. The way I shot it was front bag, right, plate bag, and then I thought I don't want to do a lot of moving, so I thought 1, 2, 3, 4. That way you're all right here with a tripod. So if you're going to do that, you're going to come down. I'm going to put an empty mag in here so I can just kind of dry fire. Come down, tripod. I'm going to talk about how I have this tripod set up here in a minute. Tripod, right? Target was H, which I think is right out front there. Now, here's the problem. This tripod's in the way of my head, okay? This is not comfortable, and this is what happened to me the other day, is I'm trying to get down on the rifle. I can't get over enough to get on the rifle because this stupid tripod's in my way. I fought this thing, and I shouldn't have shot this way, okay? So that's one way you could try to shoot it. The problem is, you see that I have my MPA tripod lock down, because if you run this tripod with the legs fully extended and as far as they'll go out locking, you're running the risk of this thing falling off here, okay? So this was not a good way to shoot it. I also saw guys shooting it with the tripod lowered and just using a bag on the tripod with just your barrel sticking out of the port, because remember, you don't have to touch the net. So that was a second way of doing it. The way I ended up towards the end of it was, let me get this thing out of here actually. The way I ended up shooting it was with just the bag like this, and then me leaned up against here. This was fantastic. This really gave me a great brace. And then I was pretty stable, zoom out, I was pretty stable on these targets. Still a lot of movement though, okay? I watched my buddy Bobby shoot it. I think he got an 8 on it. And I love the way he shot it. He did this bag here, and now look at this. Now I am very stable on the target. That target isn't moving in my sights. And then the thing is, as you move, you bring it out, you bring it in, you're coming down, you're coming out. The next one was Delta, I think, which was over here somewhere. And I'm gonna zoom way out here. I think Delta was over. I still have to acquire these targets. But this was just very, very nice and very stable. So this is the way I would probably recommend shooting this. And I would actually have this second bag with me, just in case this one's too tall, that I could quickly just swap out. And now I've got a lower bag, so I can get out there further, and now I'm on those targets. Let's talk about what if they say you have to shoot from some of these white ones, because remember, these are higher up, right? You could still come up here. I can still get in my back up against this. Remember your back up against this. I can't stress that enough. And now I'm right here, and I'm telling you, that's pretty darn stable. Look here, look how this bag is. This is my loose fill bag. And the thing I like about this one is it's not super heavy filled, so it's not real stiff. As I put it on here, you'll see how it can just bend into, right, that bag. These are things to think about, right? I don't want to just use the plate. I want a bag, but I want the bag to give enough that it's going to kind of mold around whatever I'm setting it on. in certain situations, I have a tighter filled bag that I use to give me just a more level platform there. So, okay, enough blabbing. Let's, I'm gonna set that down. There is no ammo in that rifle. All right, well, it's pretty windy out here, but let's see how we can do. I'm actually gonna try this a different way. So, I'm gonna try to keep it simple. I'm going to just use this bag with this as the rest, and then we're gonna go from there. So, let me make sure I have the right dope in here. 2.1 to start. I actually found out that one of the targets was wrong, distance-wise. So let's see. Yeah, let's go. So they say gun. I may start here, come up. I'm on the target. Impact. Impact. 2.8. No, 3.5 rather, for this next one. Come here, here. Next one is the white bucket. I'm aiming my rifle at it, right there. I'm using this as the backboard. Where are you? Right there. Impact. Impact. 6.3. I'm gonna come here, I think, because now I'm way down there. Oh, I'm on it. Impact. Lucky shot. Impact. 8.9. And I think I'm gonna come over here. It's all on the same level. See what I'm kind of doing there? Then I'm gonna come, whoops, down a little bit. There's C. Impact. Impact. Wow, okay. Gee, I wish I'd have done that Saturday. So I cleaned it here. It was 3 shots each Saturday. So I would have had, yeah, maybe I'd have missed 2 or 3, but that would have put me further up in the standings. And so, yep, that's how it goes, boys and girls. So that's how you could shoot this. I know there's a whole lot of different ways, guys. This way to me seemed the easiest, and I'll tell you what, it might have looked a couple times like I was struggling, but here's what made it nice. This thing right here, this brace made it so nice for me to just brace up against, come up, come down, do whatever I needed to do. So, keeping it simple actually paid off. You didn't have to screw with a tripod or anything else. Just pick where you're gonna be. If you can, and if you can't, then realize it wasn't that much difference height-wise between these. So if I had to pick 4 out of these 6, I still could have done a pretty good job. I would have just come here, like on this one, come way back up against this here, and now, in fact, this is actually not a bad position at all, and I'm right on the target. So just think about it. When you're going to shoot one of these stages. Okay, well, this one probably turns out a little longer than I thought, but there's a lot involved with it. So thanks for watching, everyone. I've got more of these coming up. I've got a whole bunch of stages in here. There's about 10 stages I want to do at this range, and I'm going to keep cranking these out. In fact, I'll do a lot of them today, and then I'll release them over the weeks. Likes, comments, subscriptions, I appreciate all of it. And until next time, shoot straight.